Hi, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Come to you with a Friday Reads. Haven't done a Friday Reads in 2 weeks, I think. Last week I got busy with different things here at the house, and I didn't end up getting that done. And besides that, I wasn't done with my book, and so it would have been the same old Friday Reads. So I waited till this week to do my Friday Reads. So just start with a couple things going on in life, what we were able to do these last 2 weeks. I think the last time I left off, I told you that the next day we had baseball going. We were in the district championship game, and we had a very, very good season, but we came up short in our district championship game, lost 5-4. You can't complain. It was a really, really good game. We were playing some of our best baseball there at the very end of the season, exactly when you want to be doing it. We had runners at second and third, and our power hitter up at the plate, and I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better situation. But unfortunately, things didn't go our way. The baseball gods did not allow us to keep going, but that's okay. As I said, we had a very, very good season. I can't complain any. It was a great group of boys, and so we came up just short. Anyway, so baseball got finished. It had been 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago on Saturday, and so what we've been doing in the meantime is I've been reading, and I've been playing a lot with my kids here at home, and we went to the zoo with them. Now, when we called to get tickets at the zoo, they said that they were only allowing people in at certain intervals throughout the morning. So we assumed that meant that there would be a lower number of people at the zoo, that they weren't going to allow that many people in. Yeah, we were wrong. It was crowded, and it was on one of the hottest. It was like 105 heat index or something like that. It was pretty hot. Although I swear, I told my wife, I swear the last 2 times we went over the last few years, the last couple times we went to the zoo, I thought it was hotter, but she did not agree with me. It was pretty warm, but they had the misters and stuff on. People were supposed to be social distancing. So we went into the Desert Dome, because we went to the Omaha Zoo, and they got this big Desert Dome, and we went into the Desert Dome. And as soon as we start going along the trail and looking at these different areas with the birds and the lizards and that kind of stuff, the whole line just, instead of keeping their 6-foot distance, all compacted. And we were sitting there, and I looked at my wife and I said, there is no way we're going to sit in here and wait. This is like, if you're going to catch the virus, this is how you're going to catch the virus. So we turned around and did what we probably weren't supposed to do, went backwards out, because we weren't very far into the Desert Dome. We went out the entrance and went ahead and just went to some of the other outdoor stuff. And then the rest of the time when we went to some of the indoor stuff that was open, half of it was closed. That was kind of a disappointment. But the other indoor stuff that we went to, everybody kept their, the social distancing was a lot better. I would say the Desert Dome was terrible. But anyway, we're all safe and healthy here, so apparently we didn't catch anything, so that's good. But anyway, so we got to go to the zoo. That was a lot of fun. We had to wear our masks when we were indoors, and it was optional outdoors, but they wanted you to, and so I wore mine most of the day. There was a couple times where I had to take it off outside just because it was hot and I needed to be able to breathe. But most of the day I had mine on, and my daughter had fun. Both of my daughters had fun. My oldest got to take a friend, and my youngest she didn't freak out on the big animals. That was nice. But she got hot pretty quick, so she wore down. On a lighter note, she was able to take a really good, not a nap, but she slept really well that night and then took a good nap the next day, so that sometimes doesn't happen. But anyway, that's been life, up until now. Tomorrow, my oldest daughter, who is a junior, going to be a senior this next school year, they've got their prom, so that's going to be interesting how we do that. We're doing that out at the lake, and us junior parents are helping to set that up. And so we're going to be spreading out some straw bales, hay bales, out and around, keeping everybody social distanced. You know, they're providing a meal, and it's going to be individually. It's catered and individually, you know, individual plates for everybody. So that'll all be taken care of, so they're not all smashed and compact together. And so they've eliminated a lot of the prom stuff just to prevent the kids from, you know, being side by side, I guess. And so we're hopefully this is going to go well. Hopefully be a good experience. Last week we had graduation finally, and I think everything went really, really well there. I haven't heard anything negative about it. They only allowed the parents in for the most part, and maybe I can't remember exactly how they did it, maybe 1 or 2 guests, but it was very, very limited to how many people could go to the deal. And then they taped it live on Facebook so that those people that normally go, because I sometimes I'm one of them that sits up in the stands and watches, because we do it in our basketball gym, and I sit up in the stands and watch, and it allowed some of us to watch it, still be able to or not participate, but watch that. So anyway, that's been our week. And then of course today I think is the 31st of July, I think. So that maybe that's tomorrow. Maybe I should have checked that. But anyway, we're at the end of July. I know that. And that means my summer is pretty much done. Starting next Monday, I'll be going back to school and starting to set my classroom up, starting to get all of our classes that are, excuse me, not our class. We have to take our in-service stuff that we do before the school year. They've got it all online now, so that we have to take classes because the state's requiring some of this stuff, and they've done it online. So we're allowed to go ahead and do some of that early if we want to, or we can wait till right before school. But I'm going to go up and get some of that taken care of, get my bulletin boards put up. And they made the decision in classes that the teachers and the students are going to be wearing masks. And so they're eating the meals in the classrooms. And so we've got some changes this school year. But the end of summer is here. That's what I'm getting at. And so some of the things to look forward to on my channel, I'm going to be doing a end of summer wrap up with my reading, what I got done in June and July. And then I'll give you the preview to what I'm hopefully going to be reading in the month of August. It might fall into September, but you know, my hopeful reading. So I'll be putting that on hopefully this weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend with prom because we got to do, the junior parents have to do all the work. So hopefully that will get done. I also was able to yesterday go and do a book haul. I got to go to the Jesse James Outlet Mall and to the or Antique Mall, excuse me, and to Books Revisited, and I was able to pick up quite a few books, and I want to do a book haul for you. So I'll have that up this weekend. I'm going to do that video right after this. Tonight I will have the DNF tag. I did that one. Just got to get it uploaded. I did that one 2 nights ago with my daughter, and so I'll have that up tonight, and hopefully you'll enjoy those. But anyway, I've been talking long enough. Let me talk about what I've been reading. So what I finished reading over the last couple weeks was Reelecting Lincoln. I finished this at the beginning of the week. I thought this was an excellent book. I like John C. Waugh. He's a good storyteller. He's a journalist / historian, and he tells when he talks about the book, he really puts it into story form so that even the average reader who may not be knowledgeable in the historical era can follow along just fine. He gives a great picture of what the people looked like, acted like, gives their personalities so that it almost feels like you know the historical characters. And I really, really appreciate that, because that's part of the reading journey and part of studying history that I really love. I like to feel like I know the characters. And I probably haven't read a book where the author has done such a good job with describing the characters since I read, oh goodness, what was the name of it? The Lincoln book by Doris Kearns Goodwin, Team of Rivals. She did an awesome job in that book, and I absolutely loved how she put together the cabinet of Lincoln and described them and told a little bit about their backgrounds. That's kind of what John C. Waugh did, and I haven't read one since then that's done it like that, or done that good a job. And I thought this was just an excellent book as far as that goes. And then he takes you chronologically from November-ish of 1863 all the way through November of 1864 in the election, and just talks about all the events and how those played into the election, and how Lincoln had to do the politics of it. I did do a book chat on this. I apologize. I know I'm not good at those. I'm trying to get better at them. I think with me, it's hit and miss. Sometimes I do okay, and then sometimes I feel like I'm just jibber jabbering. So I apologize if it ended up being a jibber jabber. But anyway, I'll put the link to that down in the description if you want to go check that out. I told a little bit about what events were dealt with in the book, and what historical characters were dealt with in the book. And so I gave a little bit more of my thoughts. I hope you enjoy that. So that's what I finished up. That was also on my TBR for the year 2020. And this was supposed to be, I set my TBR up so that I would have one per month. And so I have 12 on that TBR list. This was supposed to be around June. So I am like a month behind. I got to really kind of kick it in gear if I want to get that TBR list done. Because of that TBR list, I actually DNF'd a couple of books. A couple books that I was reading. It was a couple of fiction books. One of them was a science fiction, and one of them was a book that's been brought out here recently. And I'm going blank on the names of them. But anyway, I DNF'd those because I felt like I was reading those more because one of them because it was just popular right now, and then the other one because I was so dead set on I'm going to read a science fiction. And the more I thought about that, I was like, why am I doing that? I need to read them when I want to read them, when I'm ready to read them. And apparently I was not ready because I just couldn't get into them nearly as much. So I DNF'd those so that I could get back into some of the stuff that I really did want to be reading. And so I finished Reelecting Lincoln. And the books that I'm reading this week, I got 2 of them that I'm working on. The nonfiction book is The Caning. And I bought this earlier in the summer. It was a recommendation by Peg at the History Shelf. I saw it on Todd's Bursting Bookshelf, and it really piqued my interest. This goes right in with the stuff I really like to study. I think it's very interesting, and it's The Caning, the assault that drove America to civil war by Stephen Puleo, and he tells a really good story. What's really cool about this book is I have read a little bit about Charles Sumner. Like I haven't read any full-scale biographies. I have them, I just haven't read them. So I knew a little bit about him, but I knew nothing about Brooks, the guy who caned Preston Brooks, who caned him. He was from South Carolina, and this book is going to spend a lot of time, I believe, so far anyway, it's showing that it's going to do this, a lot of time explaining Preston Brooks. It's talking about the issue in Kansas, which was what caused the big ruckus, and excuse me, Preston Brooks is the guy that's doing the caning because of an insult that Charles Sumner did to, I think it was a cousin of his in the Congress. So anyway, I talk about this in class. I give the kids the basic picture, and they always love it. So since the kids really like this story in class, I look forward to getting to know the event a little bit better so I can tell maybe some more behind-the-scenes stories with this. Yeah, it should be good. So anyway, that's the nonfiction book that I'm reading. And then the fiction book that I've been picking up in the afternoon and then in the evening, I've been starting to, is Tales of the South Pacific by James Michener. I wanted to continue trying to go through all of his books. I'm not going to do them like back to back to back, but I do plan on going through all of them over the next, it's probably going to take me a couple years really, because like I said, I won't do them all back to back. I think it'll bog me down a little too much. but I wanna do all of these books. So I've been doing Tales of the South Pacific, and this is interesting so far. It takes place in World War II, out in the Pacific on some islands out there, right in the middle of the United States battling the Japanese, and yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about that the further I get in. I'm not super far into it. I'm 50 pages in, so I'll let you know about that. So that's my reading life right at the moment. Again, I'm going to post the DNF tag at the tonight. I will have tomorrow a book haul that I'm putting up, and then my plan is hopefully on Sunday I will have a end of summer wrap up with my reading, and then what's going to be coming this next month in August. So I hope that everybody is in good health and happy spirits and enjoying their reading. So thank you, by the way, to all of the new subscribers. I've had quite a few over the last couple weeks, and so I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Happy reading.